Today, we're going to talk about the pandemic situation that we are dealing in these days, and which is basically a global threat. So, we're going to talk about the coronavirus and specifically the corona nova, which is also known as COVID-19. How is it transmitted, and what are the possible ways of transmission that we'd be discussing over here? And whenever we are discussing the transmission of a disease, we're also concerned about the precautions that the normal population can take to prevent the spread of the disease, and obviously in general control the spread of the disease, because that is something very important even as a part of community health worker. If you're working as one, you must know how to stop the transmission of communicable diseases. So over here, we're going to discuss the coronavirus. And before that, we must know what is the typical history that is related to this typical threat that we are dealing in these days. Basically, it all started in almost 2002 when the world faced the coronavirus SARS. So that was when it all started, and it basically started off from bats to human transmission. Basically, what happened at that time was bats were the primary reservoirs, and after that, the viruses were transmitted to a secondary reservoir, which was basically a sea well. Then the consumption, or whenever the humans got in contact with this sea well, that the humans got the tertiary transmission, and they became the tertiary reservoir for the SARS virus. And that was how it was transmitted at that time. After that, in 2012, there was another transmissible or communicable disease that the world faced. And then again, we had the bats at the primary reservoir, but the secondary reservoir at that time were the camels. And then the tertiary reservoir were the humans. Whenever this coronavirus is transmitted from human to human without being mutated in the animals, it is not that dangerous. This time in 2019, almost in December 2019, bats transmitted this virus to an animal which is known as pangolin. Pangolin is basically a mixture of an anteater and somewhat in between. It also resembles an armageddon. So it is a mixture of an anteater and armageddon, and it has its medicinal purposes as well. So due to this secondary reservoir, it has been transmitted when the humans got in contact with this pangolin, and this is how it got transmitted to the humans. So humans were the tertiary reservoirs in this case, and the pangolins were the secondary reservoirs in case of COVID-19. So this is how it got mutated in the pangolins. And what is more serious about this COVID-19 is that the transfer rate is very high over here. So the rate of infections is very high. Whenever we are discussing the rate of infections in cases of communicable diseases, we usually resort to a terminology which is known as R naught. So, for instance, if I say that a disease has an R naught of 1, it means that it can be transmitted from one infected person to only one other normal, healthy individual. The R naught for COVID-19 is almost 2.2, which is almost thrice as much as a normal common flu or common cold that we usually encounter, and that is very high. The fatality rate is not that much, and usually people who have the comorbids and belong to an older age group have shown the fatality rates to be high. So this is something that is concerning these days, and we're going to discuss the transmission of this particular COVID-19 over here, and we're going to cover all of the aspects of transmission, particularly over here. Before we get into the major discussion of transmission, I would like to emphasize the structural qualities of this particular virus that we're dealing with. What are the typical structural qualities that this coronavirus has? This is the spikes that it has, and then we have a nucleocapsid that is basically the internal core of this virus that we are dealing with, and it is enveloped in a protein E over here. Then we have the membrane protein M that is also giving out the external covering or the protective covering to this coronavirus. So these are the typical structural qualities that this typical COVID-19 has. It can really help in when we are basically finding out and getting the researches done to get the proper treatment guidelines for this virus, how it can be prevented in the individuals. And obviously, a lot of research is being carried on these days to get our hands on the vaccine if it is available at earliest as possible, to basically protect the individuals and help basically stop the communication of this disease throughout the world, as it is a global threat these days.